Namaskaram. I bow to the divinity within you. Action with awareness is both the vehicle and the destination in Babaji's Kriya Yoga. Through it, we become aware of that which is aware, the one constant underlying all of our experiences. Yoga was originally developed in India, but today it enjoys worldwide popularity because of its many practical benefits. However, in being passed from an ancient Indian culture to a modern Western culture, the values inherent in each culture have not been reconciled. And so yoga as it is taught in the West today is a pale shadow of what it truly can be. It is not simply a system of physical exercises, which may improve our health or appearance. Fortunately, today in the West, a growing number of teachers are attempting to join the practice of Hatha Yoga, which consists primarily of the physical postures, with the practice of meditation or awareness. This trend is very welcome, but even where one is instructed to be aware of, for example, the breath or the flow of energy in the body, little is communicated about the nature of awareness or consciousness. Ordinarily, we act without awareness. We are moved to act by a desire to find happiness or to avoid suffering. However, finding happiness is like trying to pick up water with our fingers. It easily slips away. So we go from one experience to the next, always with the vain hope that it will provide some lasting happiness, or at best, distract us from our suffering. Even getting what we want, for example, wealth, pleasure, fame, or the perfection of a posture, inevitably brings the fear of losing it or eventual boredom and dissatisfaction. Lasting happiness seems to escape everyone. Is there not a way out of this universal dilemma? A way to find lasting happiness? The Siddhas, those perfected masters who developed the scientific art of yoga, have a famous saying: the amount of happiness in life is proportional to one's discipline, or sadhana. Most of us shy away from the word discipline, but discipline in the context of yoga is simply to remember who we are and to let go of what we are not. Discipline begins with the cultivation of awareness. It is based upon the Siddha's diagnosis of our human condition, encapsulated in the following saying: we are dreaming with our eyes open. Life is dreamlike. Notice how everything comes and goes like dreams. Our possessions, the wonderful times, and relationships. Furthermore, all that we do is done unconsciously out of habit, and we are unaware of our every movement and breath. Awareness occurs when part of our consciousness stands back and witnesses the rest of our consciousness involved in doing, feeling, or thinking. This rarely occurs in the ordinary course of life, because usually we allow our consciousness to be absorbed by objects of attention, such as what we are seeing, hearing, and thinking or doing. Or we allow our consciousness to be dispersed in many different directions. When was the last time you watched yourself read a book? Or watched yourself look at a sunset? Or watched yourself eat a meal? When was the last time you watched yourself sleep? When was the last time you watched yourself do Hatha Yoga? Consciousness is not the same thing as the mind. Patanjali, 2,000 years ago in his classic Yoga Sutras, makes a clear distinction between that which is conscious, the seer, and the seen. Everything else we experience, including the mind. The seer is pure subject, that which is conscious, that which is experienced as I am. The seen is everything else, all objects of awareness, from the most physical of objects to the subtlest of thoughts and mental formations. Mind is the sum of all mental formations, including memory, imagination, sensory input, and intellectual abstractions. Patanjali defines yoga in verse 2 of his Yoga Sutras in the following words: yoga is the cessation of the identification with the fluctuations arising within consciousness. I repeat, yoga is the cessation of, the identification with, the fluctuations arising within consciousness. In subsequent verses, Patanjali defines these 5 fluctuations as, number 1, the means of acquiring true knowledge, such as sense perception, which is knowledge validated through our 5 senses, and inference, which is observed cause and effect. Number 2, misconception, which is false knowledge based on personal bias. Number 3, conceptualization, which is thinking about our experience. Number 4, memory, which filters the present experience with beliefs from past experience. And number 5, sleep, which is a belief in non-existence. These 5 kinds of fluctuations keep us in our egoism.